The Chiefs dropped to 9-2. USA Today's Jarrett Bell was at the Coliseum last night. The first two words of his column this morning were instant classic. Jarrett joins us now. Welcome back to the show.
How is everybody today?
Good.
I like that.
Good to have you back, Jarrett.
Instant classic. So you tell us why.
Because it lived up to the hype, for one. And you had so much build up to this game. Obviously, the records speak for themselves, and the significance of the game just with these two burgeoning teams, if you will. And they kept our interest throughout. The drama, the suspense was there, okay? You had incredible plays on offense, defense. Obviously, when you start talking about what the quarterbacks did, 2 400-yard passers.
10 total touchdowns.
Yeah. It was like arena football met a Madden video game, right?
I read that in your column.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. So the future of the NFL. So incredible. So it lived up to what we may have expected that we wanted to see when these two teams collided. So
Go ahead, Skip.
there goes.
Mr. Bell, we've known each other for a long time. I'm taking great exception to what you just said or what you wrote, because I can't go instant classic when it was such an instant disaster for the young quarterback on the losing team. He had 5 turnovers, 3 tumultuous turnovers that included pick 6 and a scoop and score touchdown. He gave the winning team 21 points. And then late in the game, in the last minute and a half, he threw 2 ugly, awful interceptions. So I can't give him a pass for all the great passes he threw, because he threw a bunch of great ones. But if any other quarterback had committed 5 turnovers, starting with the 41-year-old quarterback in New England, people would be all over him, starting with the man across from me. So it's disqualified. I guess you can make the case it was exciting for the wrong reasons, because it kept it close, because he kept giving the other team chances that they didn't deserve to have. If he had played a clean game, I think they would have, you picked them to win. I think they would have won handily. I think they would have pulled away.
Yeah, I think the thing is that when we look at 5 turnovers, Skip, we're not looking at a guy that's going to go get you 6 touchdowns either. Normally, a team that turns the ball over 5 times, and I think we saw that Ben turned the ball over. I think he turned it over 5 times in the divisional game last year, and they got to 40+. I mean, this dude had 5. He had 5 turnovers, scoop and score, pick 6s, and they got to 51 points. So you're right. If not a clean game, let's just say he cuts that in half. He turns the ball over twice. Do they get to 60+? Because he's
Seriously, what if he had 0 turnovers? What would have happened?
Depends on how the defense is played.
Right. But that's what you want to see, though, Skip. You just don't want to see all offense. You don't want to see a 70-63 ball game. This is like John Isner. You know, if you break his serve, you're probably going to beat him. But he's just going to keep wailing away. And that's what happened. And then you get Aaron Donald. And
John Isner just got in the conversation with the greatest NFL game ever played.
But I'm saying,
Not the greatest.
But Skip, when you look at those big serves, you know all it takes is one time to break a serve.
I got it.
You get Nicholas Mahout, John Isner, get a 70-68 final in the Wimbledon. But that's not. I love this because the back and forth. You spot a team 13 points, you come back and you take a lead, and then back and forth. Okay, who's going to make the mistake? Well, Mahomes ended up making 2 mistakes that ended up costing his team.
No, but he'd already made 3 horrendous mistakes.
He could have overcome those, though.
Okay.
Here's the deal. We're talking semantics here, because when you talk about instant classics and putting a game in a special category, as I did with this game, and as I'm sure the ratings will show a lot of people at home did as well, you can't confuse that with perfection.
Right.
We're not talking about the textbook game that you go, and although there were enormous plays by several players, I mean, you can pull out some plays, obviously, and put them on film and say that was a spectacular play. That one catch by Tyreek Hill on the sideline.
Ridiculous.
Yes,
it was ridiculous.
And then some of the throws from Mahomes. So when you're talking about classic, you're not necessarily just talking about it
a clean game.
Yeah, a clean game from, the grading of the game. But you're talking about the moment. Were you at the game last night?
No. But watching,
Okay, watching it.
Yeah.
Guess what? Inside that building, there was even more electricity.
Wow.
And so for the moment, and I know the Rams wanted to use this opportunity to pay homage to the first responders and respect the victims of the tragedies and all of that.
Right up to kickoff there.
Yeah. But you throw that on top of the anticipation for this game, and that's what made it special. And so, no, perfection, not there. But guess what? Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs, they've got to learn from this, because for 5 turnovers and then two picks in the last couple minutes, and you still have a chance to win.
Yeah.
I mean, that is pretty amazing in itself. And take nothing away from the Rams, because although Patrick Mahomes, I know a couple of those strip sacks, he responded both times with leading his team on touchdown drives. So that's all part of the suspense and the drama that made this one.
But he did not respond in the last minute and a half, because you can't do either of those. You got a chance. I was convinced we got at least overtime here, because it was a 3-point game. And the first one, he's got the rusher right in his face, and it's on his eye side. It's not a blindside sack, and he's going to try something. You can't gunsling that one. You got to duck under it. You can't invite him to hit your arm, and it's up for grabs. And then the last interception, that's why it ended with a thud, because that was just bad. I have no idea where he's trying to throw the last ball.
Yeah, he was trying to gunsling it. Yeah,
okay.
Trying to make a play, and not a lot of time either.
Okay, and the second turnover is so bad, because remember, they've got it 1st and 10 at the 25, and it's 23 all. And he gets strip sacked by Aaron Donald. The ball goes backward, and you said the offensive lineman tried to scoop it up or at least fall on it. And it goes backward, and it goes backward, it goes back. It goes 29 yards the wrong way. And all of a sudden, the Rams have it 1st and 10 at the Kansas City 46. In one play, it just swings the other way. And they go boom, 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 touchdown. And all of a sudden, they get the lead. And then the other thing that just drives me, now, again, I'm a football purist, but this is taking away from the shootout part of it. But if you give the home coach, the young genius, Sean McVay, if you give him a 40-30 lead after 3 quarters, and you got Todd Gurley on your team, the last time I checked, you salt that one away. That's you got the ball and a 10-point lead in a shootout with that running back. Right. You don't use him. And then they got the ball back at the end and could have killed the clock with 1:18 left. And they go 3 and out and take all of 14 seconds off the clock. That's not instant classic to me. That's just poor coaching. And again, he was trying to out Andy Reid on the stage, like, I'm going to show you I can be the offensive genius you are. Well, at some point, you have to run the football and run the clock, right?
I love the swings, the ebbs and flows, and that's what you got. I mean, you get this a lot of times in regular season games where the momentum swings back and forth, because it looked like, okay, the Rams about to blow them out. And then here comes Kansas City. Okay, Kansas City got the momentum. They about to blow the Rams out. And the Rams like, oh, no, here we go. And it goes back and forth. Then I agree
give you that.
The last 2 drives by Kansas City left you wanting more. Like,
sure,
don't end like this. Don't end like this.
Yeah, I know. How many games do you look at and you say, I don't mind if this goes to overtime.
Right.
Okay? I mean, usually we're like, no, please don't have overtime.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys, like, please don't go to overtime. I need to get to bed. It's 10 o'clock.
No, you wanted over.
No, I didn't.
You picked Kansas City.
I did, but Skip, it's 10 o'clock.
Kansas City winning was more important than your sleep at that moment.
I got 15 more minutes. 3 a.m.
I got you.
I'm not like you, Skip. I can't just, stay up all the time. I ain't no night owl like you.
Okay, I don't love being a night owl, but I was ready for it.
I get you on the game management part of it. No doubt about it. But I think in a game like this, where, like you said, a lot of ebb and flow, you're still trying to get as many points as you can. You're not
because nothing feels safe.
Yeah.
Because you remember, Skip, you had a 13-point lead. Do you feel safe with that? I mean, you had a 13-point lead, and the next thing you know, before you get to 20, they're ahead of you.
Okay, that's fair. But you have made the case several weeks on this show previous that running back, Todd Gurley, is in the MVP chase, right?
Oh, he's special.
Okay, well, if he's special, and they said on ESPN that he ran over before the game and said, I'm going to be with you guys after, like I'm going to be the star of the game. Okay, well, I'm sure he was geared up. And I will bet you, if I know Todd Gurley, we've had him on the show, I'll bet he's not real pleased today because, again, love the win, but that should have been partly his stage. Like he could at least share the stage with his quarterback.
Right.
Okay, and he didn't get that.
But in a game like this, you've got to score a bunch of points, and Gurley can score a bunch of points, and can do it in the passing game as well as the running game. So, you can never say you can't get enough of Todd Gurley.
Okay? This is what happens. This is why they've devalued the running back. You look at this game, and you got 2 of the top 5 rushers, and they played no role in the game.
They played.
That's why they devalue the running back. Think about it. Gurley has like 15 touchdowns. Hunt is what, double-digit touchdowns, top 5. Both of those guys are top. I think Todd Gurley was leading the NFL in rushing.
Yep.
And they played no role.
And yet, in the end, I think Jared Goff deserves more credit than he's getting because, in the end, he actually outplayed Patrick Mahomes when it mattered the most.
And didn't have a turnover.
He didn't have. He had played
the fumble.
before, but yeah,
Talking about the interception.
But the point, it gets to 3rd and 9 at his 26 with 2:13 left. This is do or die to me with the other team, with its track team ready to come back on the field. And he hits Brandon Cooks for 22 yards, and that was the game to me. That's before he hits the touchdown.
But you knew. You watched that game when Scandrick dropped that interception. You like they're gonna lose this game because you had an opportunity. Because you get the ball there, they got no more timeouts. You're gonna take it under the 2-minute warning. It's ball game.
As much as I love Orlando, we've had him on the show.
Oh, he got cooked last night.
But he got cut by Dallas, and then he quickly got cut by Washington, and that's all they got. Really?
Yeah, he's more of a slot defender as opposed to being on the island. Everybody can't play on the island.
He was having a hard time last night, and he was having to do a lot of clutch and grab, right?
And he got no help from the officials.
No help from the officials.
At all. That was not classic.
No.
I mean, think about it. They had 5 turnovers, 13 penalties, and they get to 51.
Yeah.
They get to 51 points with 13 penalties and 5 turnovers. They hadn't played their best football, somebody else would say.
He's going to be thinking about those fumbles. Ball protection.
Wade Phillips' defense is underachieving or something is wrong with it. I don't know.
Well, they need a little bit more from Sue.
I don't know.
Because Aaron Donald's giving you everything. I mean, 14 and a half tackles from a DT.
Yeah.
He's special. He's unbelievable.
Sue played 90% of the snaps last night and had 1 assisted tackle, no solos. That's it.
I don't think they said his name till
They didn't. I didn't even know he played. I had to look to be sure.
It was interesting.
Aaron Donald's a monster, though.
Oh, that is true, Jarrett. Thank you for joining us. Love to get your perspective there.
Enjoy,
So,
guys.
what about those Cowboys? Should they actually be favorites on Thanksgiving?
Yikes.
Interesting. We'll discuss next.